Unfortunately for Hasan, the Kaya situation somehow just keeps on going. You know, he'd love for people to forget about this, and even at the Streamer Awards, they were really trying to make it just like one big joke that Hasan could lean into. Well, you know, that stopped really quick. Bro's still trying to just like move on from this and pretend it's never happened, and yet it just got worse once again. As just hours ago, we have a top post here that reads, Kaya, Hasan's dog, was spotted in a shot collar ad by Hasan's alleged dog trainer, Pat, aka the best trainer in San Diego. This clip already getting over 16,000 upvotes. Well, before we watch the clip, hold on a second. Maybe Valkyrie can stop by and tell us why we shouldn't care about this. It's just hilarious looking back at all the people who defended Hasan. You know, Valkyrie, Caroline Kwan, Sasha Grey, Vanilla Mace, Taylor Lorenz, etc., etc., and how they like jumped the gun so early on that. They were so quick to defend the guy, and even at that point in time, there was just overwhelming evidence against Hasan, and they defended him despite the fact that, as mentioned, there's a bunch of evidence showing what he was doing, and we could all see. But like even since then, there's just been more and more evidence coming out, and these people, you know, these influencers from the LA streamer like that defended Hasan. It's funny how they never tried defending him again. They're all just, as mentioned, trying to move on from this, even when it's getting worse and worse for them, and it just makes them all look even worse for what they did. And it's pretty telling that none of these people have ever taken accountability for what they did. None of them want to talk about this topic anymore. They just want to like sweep it under the rug. There hasn't been a single one that was like, you know, it was my bad. I've taken a look at the evidence again, and like I've seen the new stuff, and yeah, you know, I definitely think Hasan's in the wrong here. None of them has said anything like that, of course. And they have the nerve to tell us that we need to focus on our priorities. Oh, you shouldn't care about this because there's other things going on. And it's like, dude, that's a lot of hot air coming from people who are willing to like prioritize defending an animal abuser simply because of my politics. Now onto this newly resurfaced clip that reads, left, Kaya co-stars in a shot collar ad for a San Diego-based trainer in February 25 while Hasan is in Japan on vacation. On the right, that being this other clip, which you may have seen, this one was making the rounds like a month ago or so. Hasan says his dog Kaya was trained by, quote, the best trainer in San Diego. His name is Pat. Prong collar, shot collar, unquote.
Tucker, come.
Okay, so let's break this down a little bit more. We have the dog on the right-hand side that people are saying is Kaya, running over with this other dog that we don't know the name of. And then in the background is the dog that just stands there that is implied to be Tucker because he specifically called Tucker over and captioned this, guess which one isn't e-collar trained, which again implies that Tucker is the one in the back that's not e-collar trained, which also means he's implying that every dog should be e-collar trained, which certainly is not the case. All in all, in my opinion, it's a pretty weird post and like a pretty weird way of him advertising / marketing his services. Later in the video, you'll also see people speculating that Hasan's dog trainer also pushes the e-collars and shot collars so much because he potentially is getting some like affiliate marketing from the company that he seems to be loosely working with, so to speak, but we'll get more to that later on. And so then we have additional tweets about this reading, Kaya's trainer prominently features the Mini Educator ET300 shot collar on social media as well. It happens to be the same model that the company above, eCollar Technologies, identified as Hasan's shot collar to be.
You're using a TENS collar on him too.
Yeah.
The OP then adding a reminder that this is the type of collar that Hasan said he wasn't using, but simultaneously defended the use of and said he was around dogs who were trained with this type of collar and tried it on himself. And that takes us back to this infamous clip where these people are talking about what seems to be that exact same trainer that Hasan also seems to be using. And Bro starts talking about how they use shot collars, specifically shot collars, amongst other things, during the training. And it's implied that they're using it on this little puppy that looks like a golden retriever puppy. In what world would a little puppy like that ever need a shot collar? That just sounds highly messed up.
3 weeks, you have to, bro.
What does he get trained to do?
To everything. Shot on, prong collar, shot collar.
He'll get training to like basically be off collar. Like you don't need to ever have a leash on him.
Really?
Do you know Kaya?
My dog?
Cooking with Kaya?
No, my dog.
Oh, no.
Oh, dude, we have the.
Oh, yeah, I met your dog. It's basketball man.
Yes,
Yeah.
we have the best
She's
dog.
I'm really hoping that I am simply misunderstanding what's going on here. I am tired today. Maybe my brain's a little fogged up and I'm just missing what's going on here as mentioned. But like, if I'm not, if that really is what's happening in these clips, I mean, man, this is just a really bad look for these people and for these poor dogs. It's also always worth pointing out that the issue with Kaya and Hasan was never just about the collar though either, but how he was like forcing her to sit there for hours and hours upon end. Something, once again, that his defenders always tried to dodge. So that's a point I always want to be sure I at least briefly mention when this topic comes up. Let's take a look at some public reception to this. So he chose a trainer that advertises that recall training for your puppy is not as effective without a shock collar. By the way, let's not forget that e-collars are just a term to obfuscate shock collars nowadays. I know I just butchered that word, but I'm not going to re-record this. I'd be curious to know if this trainer has some sort of affiliate relationship, sponsorship, or wholesale deal with the e-collar company. Oh gosh, could you imagine? It just gets even shadier. It's common for trainers to have all sorts of side deals to increase revenue, and likely a reason for most to push them onto pet owners. The Instagram post is somehow posted by the trainer and e-collar technologies, so I assume so. Don't know how that dual posting works on Instagram, but it sure makes it look like an advertisement. One user posts the picture and tags the second user. The picture then appears on both profiles. Oh, so it is a literal ad for shock collars. Didn't even notice that part. And lastly, we've got these. From their FAQ, it seems like the second user gets a prompt to approve or reject a collaboration post, meaning the e-collar company here accepted with either knowledge of it beforehand because it's an ad, or upon seeing the reel because it's free advertisement. There's no way this thing keeps getting a second, third, fourth wind. Hasan's legacy caused by his own stubbornness and ego. Congrats. Oh, we're definitely talking about this one because a lot of people have noticed this being that Kaya is no longer in the background nearly as much as she used to be. So this comment says, the best part of it all is that since Hasan no longer shocks her from moving, she no longer stays in her place all stream, and she seems to enjoy the bit of freedom the entire situation gave her. Hasan is still a cruel piece of garbage though. This is the best part of all that attention Hasan got. It's less about pointing out that he's a piece of trash, and more about the fact that the dog now has more freedom. I assume so, considering she's not just sitting on stream like a prop anymore. One of his original defenses was that he was actually... Oh my gosh, that's right. One of his original defenses was that he was actually protecting her joints by making her sit there, and that you're actually too poor and uneducated about dog care for exotic breeds to understand. Champagne socialism is when you can't afford a second bed in a different room. Doesn't matter. His brain-dead followers will still somehow say he didn't shock his dog. Didn't he get a puff piece recently calling the shock collar thing a conspiracy? Yeah, I think that was the Taylor Lorenz one. I mean, now it's a few months ago, but he literally just got another puff piece, 2 days ago from CNN, or yesterday from CNN, actually, I think it was. I don't think they mentioned the shock collar stuff, though, but it is hilarious how often the mainstream press tries to prop this dude up. But that's something we talked about in much more detail yesterday, so I'm not going to rehash all that right now. And, of course, we have the Hasan Shao Tucker meme. I'm going to pretend I didn't see that, dude. That freaking character sucks. I mean, the meme is pretty fitting, but, who wants to talk about that freaking character? Anyways, as was mentioned in that comment, at the very least, it seems like Kaya's getting treated better. She's not free from Hasan, and who knows what goes on off stream, but she does seem to have more freedom now, so that's certainly a dub. And this is all something that certainly has been a massive negative impact on Hasan's reputation, as well as those corrupt people who have tried so hard to defend him on this topic. But let me know what you guys think about this, and thank you for tuning in. Have a wonderful rest of your day, a wonderful Christmas Eve coming up, and of course, a Merry Christmas, and I'll see you in the next one.